You know, when we think about anxiety, we usually think it's all in our heads, right? But what if I told you that a part of it, a big part, might actually be physical? Like a single muscle in your body could be holding on to fear and keeping you stuck in that state of stress. It's a pretty wild idea, and that's exactly what we're going to dive in today.
So let's just get right to it. This is the central question here. Could a single muscle, just one muscle, actually be triggering your anxiety? I mean, think about that. Something physical, something you can interact with, could be the source of all that worry. It kind of flips the script on how we think about this stuff, doesn't it?
Okay, so this whole idea, this entire explainer, was kicked off by this one image you're looking at right now. I mean, just look at that headline. The muscle of the soul. It claims this muscle might be triggering your fear and anxiety, and then it dangles this solution right in front of us. Here's how to unlock it. That's a seriously bold claim. So of course we have to ask, what is this muscle, and what in the world does it mean to unlock it? All right, let's pull back the curtain and meet the star of the show. It's called the psoas. Yeah, that's spelled P-S-O-A-S. And look, calling it the muscle of the soul sounds cool and all, but the really fascinating part is where it is in your body and what it actually does. And this diagram shows it perfectly. See those two big, thick bands? That's the psoas. They connect your lower back, your lumbar spine, and they run all the way down through your core, connecting to the very top of your thigh bones. And get this, it's the only muscle that directly links your spine to your legs. I mean, you can't get more core than that. So you can imagine it has some pretty huge jobs, right? It's basically the bridge between the top half and bottom half of your body. It helps keep your spine stable, and it's the main muscle that lets you do things like lift your knees to your chest. Because it's so central, it has this massive impact on your posture. Okay, so it's a big, important muscle for movement. But how does that connect to our mood? How does a piece of anatomy affect our emotions? Well, this is where we get into that amazing and honestly often overlooked mind-body connection. To really get this, we've got to do a quick refresh on something you've probably heard of, the fight or flight response. Think of it like your body's ancient, built-in alarm system. When your brain senses danger, and it doesn't care if it's a saber-toothed tiger or just a really stressful email, it flips a switch and gets your body ready to either, well, fight or run for your life. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This quote here says the psoas is a messenger of the core and the first muscle to contract in that fight or flight response. Think about it for a second. What happens when you get startled? Like a loud bang. You jump, right? You instinctively curl into a little ball, bringing your knees up. That's your psoas, firing off instantly to protect all your important bits. So here's how this whole chain reaction supposedly works. First, your brain spots some kind of stress or danger. That kicks your nervous system into fight or flight mode. Then, bam, your psoas tightens up to shield your core. But here's the kicker for us in the modern world. We're not running from predators anymore. We're sitting stressed out in traffic or at a desk, and that can cause that psoas muscle to just stay tight. And that's what creates this nasty feedback loop. The stress makes the muscle tight, but then the tight muscle keeps sending signals back to your brain saying, hey, danger, we're still in danger. So your body is basically telling your brain to stay anxious, even if the original stress is gone. You get stuck. Which brings us all the way back to that promise from the original fixture. If a locked up, tight psoas is part of the problem, then how do we unlock it? What does that even mean?
Yeah, that phrase, here's how to unlock it, is so powerful, isn't it? It suggests there's something we can actually do about it, that we can jump into that feedback loop and break the cycle.
But what does that actually mean? I mean, obviously, there isn't a literal lock and key down there, right? It's a metaphor, but it's a metaphor for a very real process that we can actually influence. Basically, unlocking just means letting go of all that chronic tension that's been building up in the psoas. People do this with specific, gentle stretches, things that really target that deep muscle. And the goal isn't just to become more flexible. The real point is to stop that danger signal from constantly being sent to your brain. So, put simply, when you release the psoas, you're sending a physical message to your brain that says, hey, we're safe now, the coast is clear. You're literally using your body to tell your mind that it's okay to relax. And that really leaves us with this one big question to chew on, doesn't it? We spend so much time trying to manage our emotions with our minds, thinking our way out of stress. But what if that's only half the battle? What if the key to feeling better, to finding that emotional balance, isn't just in our heads,
but is actually hidden somewhere deep inside our own bodies.